And we're breaking into programming to bring you some breaking news. Federal authorities laying out the criminal charges against former Oakland Mayor Shing Tao in connection to a lengthy grand jury corruption probe. FBI agents raided her home last summer, along with homes and businesses tied to a powerful East Bay family. That family owns California Waste Solutions, Oakland's contracted recycler. Let's listen in to that news conference.
David Trung Duong and his son, Andy Hung Duong, who was also David Duong's business associate. The indictment returned by the grand jury describes a corrupt scheme in which the defendants used bribes, mail fraud, wire fraud, and other illegal practices to manipulate and corruptly influence the levers of local government. Before I describe the details of the indictment, I want to emphasize one thing. What I'm about to describe are just allegations. Every defendant is entitled to the presumption of innocence, is presumed innocent, unless and until his or her guilt is established beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. The indictment charges a scheme that the defendants entered into knowing that bribes would be offered and accepted by Tao and Jones in exchange for allowing the Duongs to exercise illegal influence over the levers of city government. The indictment alleges that the illegal conspiracy began around October 22, before the November 2022 Oakland mayoral election. Weeks before that election, Tao made commitments to take official actions as mayor that would benefit the Duongs. Examples of promises allegedly made by Tao include her agreement to purchase housing units from a company owned by the Duong family, her agreement to ensure the extension of a contract for recycling services that the city of Oakland had with one of David and Andy Duong's companies, and her agreement to use influence to help appoint a high-level city official to benefit the Duong's business interests. In exchange, the Duongs allegedly provided payments to Tao and Jones in various forms, including the financing of a negative mailer campaign targeting Tao's political rivals, and providing Jones and Tao with $95,000 in direct payments disguised as wages for a no-show job for Jones, with the promise of additional payments, all intended to benefit both Tao and Jones. Our communities depend on local government for critical services. The public needs to know it can trust those in charge of City Hall to work for the best interests of the people of Oakland. This public trust is broken when elected officials agree to a pay-to-play system to benefit themselves. This indictment reaffirms the commitment of this office to root out, investigate, and prosecute corruption in our local governments. The indictment was the product of a coordinated effort with our law enforcement partners, the FBI, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and the IRS Criminal Investigation. I want to praise the invaluable work by our law enforcement partners investigating this case. I also want to commend the prosecutors from my office who are handling the case. Assistant U.S. Attorneys Molly Priedemann, Abraham Fine, and Lloyd Farnham, with the valuable assistance of Amala James and Madeline Wachs, and the leaders of our Oakland branch office, AUSA's Alexis James and David Ward. I am now pleased to turn the podium over to my friend and partner, FBI Acting Special Agent in charge of the San Francisco Field Office, Dan Costin.
Today's announcement stems from an ongoing multi-year investigation into public corruption initiated by information shared with the FBI from the Oakland's Ethics Commission. The effort dedicated to this investigation underscores our unwavering commitment to hold accountable those who violate the public trust. The indictment unsealed today highlights alleged corrupt actions involving promises to benefit private businesses in exchange for campaign support, financial gain, and influence on city operations. This case represents a joint effort by the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the IRS Criminal Investigations Division, and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. I want to thank our federal partners for their collaborative efforts to ensure the individuals involved in this alleged scheme are brought to justice. The investigation is ongoing, but we hope bringing these charges serves to strengthen Bay Area residents' confidence in the processes by which our elected city government leaders are held accountable. We encourage anyone to report information that would aid the FBI's continuing work to investigate and disrupt public corruption at all levels. Next, I would like to introduce USPIS Inspector in Charge, Steve Sherwood.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen Sherwood. I'm the Inspector in Charge of the San Francisco Division of the United States Postal Inspection Service. The indicted individuals are accused of carrying out a series of fraud schemes using the U.S. mail that targeted government agencies, businesses, and the public. These schemes erode both public trust in the Postal Service and the integrity of government institutions. Postal inspectors will continue to pursue all those who exploit the U.S. Postal Service and defraud the American people. I want to express my sincere gratitude to our law enforcement partners at the FBI, IRS Criminal Investigation, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for their invaluable teamwork and dedication to this critical endeavor. Strong and continued collaboration among federal law enforcement agencies led to the indictment announced today. I would like to now turn the podium over to my colleague, Special Agent in Charge Wynn of the IRS Criminal Investigations.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Linda Wynn. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of IRS Criminal Investigation in the Oakland Field Office. Before I get started, I wanted to thank First Assistant U.S. Attorney Robbins for providing this opportunity for us to discuss this case with you today. The alleged activities of the accused have led to a growing sense of distrust amongst taxpayers and elected officials. As alleged, David and Andy Jung used bribes to further the profitability of their business interests and to obtain undue influence over the appointment of high-level Oakland City officials. As stated in the indictment, former Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao and longtime companion Andre Jones accepted those bribes and sought to live up to their end of the scheme. Sheng Tao committed to extend the contract of the recycling company and buying housing units from business owned by the Jungs, while Andre Jones received these payments. As often the case, the accused left a money trail from their deceptive acts of corruption. IRS CI is uniquely qualified to investigate corruption of all types because we are the experts at financial investigations. The citizens of Oakland and the larger Bay Area deserve better and demand their public officials to adhere to the highest standards of civil service and full transparency. The accused in this case fell short of those standards. I'll close by saying we can't do this work alone. Many of our investigations are in partnership with other law enforcement agencies. I wanted to thank the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Northern District, the FBI, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, who worked side by side with us to meticulously advance this investigation. I also wanted to thank you all for your continued interest in this case. Thanks again.